Good evening, all of you. In the last session, we started our discussion related to the DevOps course. So we discussed about what is the DevOps, why DevOps, and what are the advantages of DevOps. Can you guys tell me what is DevOps? Can you guys tell me what is DevOps? DevOps is a technology or DevOps is a culture. DevOps is a culture. We can say that DevOps is a practice or DevOps is a process. DevOps is not a technology. DevOps is a culture. DevOps is a process. We can say that DevOps is set of practices. DevOps is a set of practices. DevOps culture is used to collaborate, development, and operations work in the software project. DevOps culture is used to collaborate, development, and operations in software project. DevOps is a culture. It is used to collaborate the development and operations in software project. Using DevOps culture, using DevOps culture, we can simplify software project, software project delivery process. We can simplify software project delivery process to clients. We are working in the company as a software engineer, right? What is our ultimate goal? Based on the client requirement, we need to develop a software project and we need to deliver that software project to the client. Is it one person job or it is teamwork? Developing a project and delivering the project to the client is not one person job. It is a teamwork. Multiple members will be involved. Multiple people will be involved in developing the project and in delivering the project to the client. For that, what we will do in the company is we will set up a development team and we will set up the operations team. Development team is responsible to understand the requirement given by the client. Development team is responsible to understand the requirements given by the client and based on that requirement, develop the programs. Once the programs development is completed, then test those programs. Once the programs development is completed, then test those programs. Once the testing is completed, once the testing is completed, then deliver that programs into Git repository. We are going to keep those programs in the Git repository. We are not going to give the programs to the client directly for execution because clients cannot understand these programs. Clients cannot understand the programming languages. So once the development work is completed, we need to perform some operations. We need to perform some operations. Okay, for that we will have operations team. What is the duty of the operations team? Operations team will set up the infrastructure required for the project. Operations team operations team requires operations team requires some environment in order to set up the application. Operations team requires some environment to set up the requirements for our to set up the infrastructure required for our application. They need to set up the database required for the application. They need to take the code done by the developers. They will deploy the application in the servers. Then they will deliver that project to the client. So here development team is working, operations team is working. There should be some collaboration between the development team and the operations team so that we can do the work quickly and we can deliver the project to the client quickly. That's where DevOps culture came into market. By using this DevOps culture, we can collaborate, development teams work and operations team work so that we can deliver the project to the clients quickly. Deliver the project to the quickly. DevOps is a culture. It is used to collaborate, development and operations in software project. Using DevOps culture, we can simplify software project delivery process to clients. Nowadays, this DevOps is having lot of demand in the market. Okay, now first let us try to understand where we will use DevOps. DevOps will be used throughout software development lifecycle process. DevOps culture or DevOps process. DevOps is used throughout software development lifecycle. Throughout software development lifecycle process. Now, first of all, what is a software development lifecycle? How you are going to get the requirements from the client, how we are going to develop that project, how you are delivering the project to the client. The complete process to deliver one software project to the client is called as development lifecycle. As a human, we are having some life cycle, right? We will get birth, then we will do our childhood will be there, teenage will be available, marriage, then we will go to old, then we will die. So that is our life cycle, right? Humans are having some life cycle. Similarly, how the software project will be developed in the IT companies, for the software project also life cycle will be available. In that software project development life cycle, where we are going to use this DevOps. DevOps is used throughout the software development life cycle process. So what is software development life cycle? What is software development life cycle? People will call it as SDLC. The process of developing and delivering the project to the client is called as development life cycle. The process of developing and delivering, the process of developing and delivering software project, the process of developing and delivering software project is called as SDLC, software development life cycle. In SDLC we have several phases. In SDLC we have several phases. What are the phases available? First one is requirements gathering. First of all, what is the client requirement? What client is expecting from us? We need to collect the requirements from the client. Requirements gathering we have to do. Then second thing, analysis. Requirements analysis. Whatever the requirement given by the client, can we implement those requirements or not? Client may tell, if I click one button, one rocket should go. That is not possible. So whatever the requirements given by the client, we have to analyze, can we implement those requirements or not? Once the requirements analysis is completed, then we need to go for design. That means planning, design, or we need to do planning. How we need to do this requirements, how to develop this, how to deliver this. We need to prepare a plan for that. Once that planning or designing is completed, then we can say that coding will be available. Coding is also called as implementation. We need to do the coding for that. After the coding is completed, then testing will be there. Whatever the code is implemented by the developers, is that code is working as per client requirement or not? We need to perform the testing. Once the testing completed, then we need to deploy the project. Then we need to deliver the project. We need to deliver the project. Then we need to provide maintenance for the project. Then we need to provide the maintenance. These are called as SDLC phases. These are called as SDLC phases. Requirements gathering, requirements analysis, designing, development. We can say that design, we can say that it is called as development also. Some people will call it as coding, some people will call it as development, some people will call it as implementation. If you take any software project, then these phases will be available for the software project. So if a client, now I am a client, now I am a client, I want to develop the project. I'm a client, I want a project, I want to run one business, I want to start one e-commerce business, I want to sell my books, I want to sell my products, I want to sell books, I want to sell my products, I want one website for that. I will go to a company for developing the project. Okay, then company will ask what is my requirement. That company is going to gather the requirements from me because I'm a client. Company need to understand what is my business, what is my business requirement. So here company is going to collect the requirements from the client. That is called as requirements gathering. That is the first step in the software project development life cycle. The process of developing and delivering the software project is called as SDLC. From starting to ending, what are the steps? The steps which we are carried out, the steps which we are going to carry to complete one project development is called as development life cycle. The process of developing and delivering one software project is called as development life cycle. Okay, right. The process of developing and delivering a software project are the steps which are involved in developing and delivering a software project is called as development life cycle. Right. In this development life cycle, we are going to follow several stages, or we can say that several phases will be available. What are the phases involved in this development life cycle? The first phase is gathering the requirement from the client. What is client expectation? What client is expecting? Okay, that client business we have to understand first. That is called requirements gathering. Then requirements analysis will be available, then designing will be available, then development will be available, testing will be available, deployment will be available, then delivery of the project will be deployed and the project will be delivered to the client. Once the project is delivered to the client, then we need to provide support for the project, that is called maintenance. If any issue occurs, now company delivered the project to me, I got some problem in the project, company should resolve that problem. That is called maintenance. Company should provide maintenance also for the project. If any problem occurs in the project, company should resolve that problem because client is a not a technical person. Client don't know what is Java, what is Python, what is .NET. Client will pay the money for the company. Company will develop the project, will deliver the project to the client. If any problem occurs, company is responsible to resolve that problem. Are you guys able to understand what is SDLC? Are you guys able to understand what is SDLC? Software development life cycle. The steps that we are going to follow to develop and deliver the project is called as SDLC. All right. DevOps is a culture. Where we are going to use the DevOps in the SDLC, guys? SDLC means starting to ending. The work that we are doing from starting to ending to develop a project is called as development life cycle. In the development life cycle, there are several phases are available. Where we are going to use the DevOps? In these 7 or 8 phases, where we are going to use the DevOps? DevOps will be used in one phase, or DevOps will be used in all the phases? DevOps will be used in all the phases. DevOps will be used in all the phases of our SDLC. DevOps is used throughout the software development lifecycle. Development team will be available and operations team will be available. Development team will understand the requirement. Development team will develop that, will test it. Then operations team has to deliver that project to the client. So now here, I want my development team and my operations team work together so that I can deliver quality project to the client. If the development team and operations team work collaboratively, then I can get the quality, then I can deliver I can deliver my project to the client quickly. So that's why we are adapting to DevOps culture so that we can deliver the project to the clients quickly. Okay, there should be a collaboration between the development team and operations team, then only we can get success for our projects. All right. Now, guys, earlier people used to follow waterfall methodology to develop the projects. Earlier, earlier people used to follow waterfall methodology to develop the projects. Waterfall methodology to develop projects. Now, waterfall is a linear methodology. Waterfall is a linear methodology to develop and deliver projects. Waterfall is a linear methodology to develop and deliver the projects. In the waterfall, we are going to complete the work step by step. In the waterfall, we are going to do the work only in the forward direction. Let us see here waterfall methodology. If you type waterfall, you can see lot of images for waterfall methodology. You can see the lot of images for waterfall methodology. If you see here, in the waterfall methodology, several steps are available. All the steps will happen one after other. All the steps are going to happen one after other when you go for this waterfall methodology. All the steps are going to happen one after other when you go for this waterfall methodology. Let me take this. Yeah, the image I want. Why it is coming very. Yes, now waterfall requirements, design, development, testing, deployment, maintenance. So like this, these are the SDLC phases. We can say that SDLC phases are SDLC steps that we are going to follow to develop and deliver the project. First one is requirements gathering. Second one is design. Third one is development. Fourth one is testing, then deployment, then maintenance will be available. Okay. Now here, whenever we go for this waterfall methodology, first we are going to collect the requirements from the client. Once the requirements we have collected, then we will go to second step, design phase. Once the design is completed, then we will go for development phase. After the development, we will go for testing. Then we will go for deployment. Then we will go for maintenance. Now, how these steps are happening? These steps are happening in the linear model. Waterfall is a linear model. Everything we are going to do step by step, and we are going to move only in the forward direction. Only in the forward direction. Let's assume that our requirements gathering is completed, our designing is completed. We are in the development phase. We are in the phase of development. Can a client change the requirement? When we are in the phase of development, can a client change the requirement of the project? Can client change the requirement of the project? Can client change the requirement of the project when we are in the phase of development? When we are in the development phase, client cannot change the requirement. Client cannot change the requirement. Here, when we will go for waterfall model, requirements are fixed in the waterfall model. We can't go, everything will happen. Everything will happen. Everything will happen step by step. We will move only in forward direction. We will move only in forward direction. Only in forward direction. Requirements are fixed. Requirements are fixed. Budget is fixed. Requirements are fixed. Budget is fixed. Client will see the project at the end. Client will see the project at the end. Client involvement is very less. Client involvement. Client involvement is very less when you go for this waterfall model. Client involvement is very less when you go for waterfall model. Earlier in the industry, people used to follow waterfall methodology to develop the projects. What is this waterfall? Earlier, people used to follow waterfall methodology to develop projects, right? What is this waterfall? Waterfall is a linear methodology to develop and deliver the projects. In this, everything will happen step by step. Here, you see, these are the steps available. Everything is going to happen step by step. How the water will fall from top to down, from bottom to top. In the same way, our project implementation also will happen. First, we are going to collect the requirements. Once this first step is completed, then only we will go for the second step, that is called designing. First, we are going to collect the requirements from the client. Once the requirements collection is completed from the client, then only we are going for second phase. If requirements collection is completed, then we will go to design phase. Once the design phase is completed, then we will go to development phase. Once the development is completed, we will go for testing phase. Once the testing phase is completed, we will go for a deployment phase. Once the deployment completed, then we will go for a maintenance phase. So everything is happening just like a waterfall. Everything is happening just like a waterfall. It is top to bottom, from top to bottom. Once the first step is completed, if one step is completed, then only we will move for next step in the waterfall methodology. Here, when we are doing the development, client cannot change the requirement. When we are doing in the development, client cannot change the requirement here, because the requirements are fixed and the budget is also fixed when you go for waterfall. Now, when the client will see the project, client will see the project at the time of deployment and deliver. Whenever we deploy the project, whenever we deliver the project, then client will see that. Now assume that client has given the requirements in the 2018. We have done the requirements gathering in the 2018, designing we have done in the 2019, development and testing we have done in the 2022, 2022, right? We are going to deliver the project in the 2023. When the client is seeing the project, client gave the requirements in the 2018. We have collected the requirements, we understood the complete business of the client, we have analyzed the requirements of the client, we have done the designing of the requirements, then we have done the development, we have done the testing, we are going to deliver the project in the 2023. Whenever we deliver the project to the client in the 2023, client is not happy with your development, then your total time is wasted. Whatever we have done, that total time is wasted here. Is the client having the involvement in this waterfall model, or client don't have the involvement in the waterfall model? Client involvement is available, or client involvement is not available in the waterfall model? Guys, come on. Client involvement is available, or client involvement is not available in the waterfall model? Client involvement is available in the waterfall model, or client involvement is not available in the waterfall model? Client involvement is available, or client involvement is not available? Client involvement is not available. Client will see the project at the end. Client involvement is very less in this. Client involvement is very less in this. Client will see the project at the end. If a client is not satisfied with our project, then if a client is not satisfied with the project, if a client is not satisfied with the implementation, whatever the project we have done, if the client is not satisfied with our implementation, money waste, time waste, money waste, time waste. Now, client has given the requirement in the 2018. Now, whatever the business ideas he got in the 2018, can he run the business with the same ideas in the 2023? Whatever the business idea he got in the 2018, can he survive? Can he sustain in this competition world with those old ideas? Every day, every day things are changing. Lot of competition is there. If you want to run the business successfully, you need to satisfy the customer requirements. Customers are coming up with different requirements. Client has given the requirements in the 2018. We have planned it, we have developed it, we are going to deliver next year. If I deliver these requirements in the next year, can I say that client business is outdated? Can we say that client business is going to outdated business? He got the idea in the 2018. we are delivering in the 2023, 5 years outdated. Do you think that every business is running, whatever the business running 5 years ago, is that business running in the same way today? 5 years ago, how the business was running, today is the business running in the same way? No. Every day the requirements are changing. Now tell me, is it recommended to develop our software projects by using waterfall model? Is it recommended to develop the projects by using waterfall model? It is not at all recommended because it is outdated approach. But when we talk about any software project, we need to understand what is the life cycle to develop a project. What are the steps involved to develop a software project? So there are several steps involved in developing a project: requirements gathering, requirements analysis, requirements designing, development, testing, deployment, delivery, and the maintenance. If you go for any software project, these steps are common. If you go for any software project, these steps are common. But how we are going to follow these steps, that is important. Earlier, people used to follow these steps in the linear fashion, that is called waterfall model. Waterfall is the outdated model in the market. Waterfall is the outdated model in the market. Earlier, people used to follow this waterfall model to develop the application, but in the waterfall model, requirements are fixed, budget is fixed, client will see the project at the end. If a client don't like our project, 5 years time wasted, 5 years time wasted, lot of money wasted, client will lose everything. Okay, to overcome the problems of this waterfall model, nowadays people are using agile methodology. What is the methodology people are following in the industry to develop the applications now? People are following agile methodology. Agile is an iterative approach. Agile is an iterative approach. Agile is an iterative approach. In the agile methodology, development and testing will happen parallelly. Development and testing, development and testing parallelly will happen parallelly in this agile methodology. Agile is an iterative approach. Development and testing will happen parallelly. Client involvement will be very high. Client involvement will be very high in the agile methodology. We will deliver the project in multiple releases. We will deliver, we will deliver project in multiple releases. Those are called as sprints. Those are called as sprints. Requirements are not fixed. Budget is not fixed. Requirements are not fixed. Budget is not fixed. Budget is not fixed when you go for agile methodology. Currently in the IT industry, agile methodology is the trending methodology. What is this agile? Agile is an iterative approach to develop and deliver the projects. To develop and deliver the projects. Agile is an iterative approach to develop and deliver the projects. All right. Now, in this agile methodology, development and testing will happen parallelly. Development activities and testing activities will happen parallelly in the agile methodology. When we go for this agile methodology, client involvement will be very high. Client involvement will be very high. At every phase, client will see the project outcome. At every release, for every release, client will provide the feedback. For every release, we will take feedback from the client. For every release, we will take client feedback. How we have done the work, how we have done the work, how you want us to work for the next release. Like that, we are going to take the feedback from the client for every release in the agile methodology. Client involvement will be very, very high when we go for agile methodology. Requirements are not fixed in the agile methodology. Project budget is also not fixed in the agile methodology. Let's see here. When you search for agile methodology, the diagram will tell you how we are going to follow this agile methodology. See the image of the agile. See the image of the agile. Now here, let us see here. Let's take this image. Agile methodology. See here, when we are talking about agile methodology, it is an iterative approach, continuous development and continuous delivery will be available in the agile methodology. Now assume that client has given 100 requirements. Client has given 100 requirements. I am not going to develop all the 100 requirements at a time, because developing the 100 requirements will take a lot of time. Developing 100 requirements will take a lot of time. So here, what we will do in the agile methodology is we are going to divide 100 requirements into multiple releases. Client has given 100 requirements. I am not going to develop all the 100 requirements at a time. What I will do is, out of this 100, first I will take only 30 requirements. Hey client, you have given 100. Okay, fine. In this 100, what are the priority requirements for you? Tell me first. Which requirements are very important for you? What are the priority? What is the priority of the requirements? Could you please tell us what is the priority? Now, out of the 100, I will take first 30 requirements which are very important for the client. Now, I will focus only on those 30 requirements. I will plan those requirements. I'm going to do the planning for only 30 requirements. I will design those 30 requirements. I will develop those. I will test that. I will review. Then I will deliver those requirements. Once the first 30 requirements development and delivery completed, I will take the feedback from the client. Hey client, are you satisfied with our work? Are you satisfied with our work? Whatever you are expecting, are we able to deliver that expectation? Like that, we are going to take the feedback from the client. Client will give the feedback. If a client want us to change something, we can change it immediately. Requirements can be changed dynamically. Once this first release is completed, that release is called as one sprint. One release is called as one sprint. Once these 30 requirements are developed and delivered, then we are going to take the next 30 requirements. We are going to take the next 30 requirements. For the next 30 requirements also same thing. We will do the planning, we will do the designing, we will do the build, we will do the test, we will do the review, then we are going to launch. Then again, we are going to take the feedback from the client. Second release, 60 requirements completed. At the end, I'm going to take the remaining 40 requirements from the client. The remaining 40 requirements I am going to prioritize. For those 40 requirements also, I will do the planning, I will do the design, I will do the build, test, review, and launch. Here, client will see the project at the end. Our client is involving in every phase of the project. Client is involving in every phase. Our client is seeing the project at the end. Client will be involved in every stage of the project. Client will be involved in every phase of the project. It is called iterative approach. It is called iterative approach. When you go for waterfall, that is a linear approach. Waterfall is a linear approach. Everything we are going to do step by step in the waterfall. The whole project we are going to deliver at a time. In the waterfall model, it will take a lot of time. If your project is taking huge amount of time, then client has to wait for that. Once you deliver the entire project, then client, if the client is not satisfied with your project, then definitely the money is wasted and the time is wasted. So that's why, to overcome such kind of a problem, nowadays we are going for this agile methodology. Earlier in the initial stages, people used to go with the waterfall methodology but nowadays people are going with the agile methodology. Earlier, people are going for waterfall methodology 10 years back. People used to follow that waterfall methodology to develop the projects. First, gather the requirement, then design. Once a design is completed, then only go for the development. Once the development go for, then only go for testing. Once the testing completed, then only go for deployment, then only go for maintenance. Everything we need to follow step by step in the waterfall model. That is a linear approach. When I am in the testing phase, client cannot change the requirement. We are not going the backward direction in the waterfall model. For big applications, for complex applications, waterfall methodology is not suitable. When you have a small application where your requirements are fixed, requirements are not going to change in the future, your budget is fixed, your requirements are fixed, then only go for waterfall methodology. If you want to build complex systems, if you want to develop complex business projects, then go for agile methodology. Agile is an iterative methodology. We are not going to develop the whole project at a time. We are not going to develop the whole project at a time. Whatever the requirement given by the client, we are going to develop and deliver the requirements in multiple releases. In multiple releases. A simple example. Your friend has given you 10,000 rupees. You are an employee. You are an employee. You are staying in the hostel. You have taken 10,000 rupees from your friend. You don't have a job to give the 10,000 rupees to your friend at a time. Then what you will do? Every month your parents will send you some pocket money. First month you will give 1,000 rupees to your friend. Next month you will give some 1,000 rupees to your friend. Next month you will give some 1,000 rupees to your friend, like that. You will give that 10,000 to your friend in multiple months. It is also similar agile methodology. Client has given 100 requirements. We are not going to deliver 100 requirements at a time because 100 requirements will take lot of time. I have to understand, I have to design, I have to implement, I have to test, I have to deliver. If I deliver 100 at a time, if a client is not happy, our work is waste, our time wasted, our money wasted. That is the reason we are not going to follow the waterfall methodology to develop the projects nowadays. What is the model we are following in the industry nowadays to develop the software projects? Which is software development lifecycle methodology we are going to follow nowadays? Nowadays, we are following agile methodology in the industry to develop and deliver our projects. Nowadays, we are going to follow agile methodology to develop and deliver our projects. In the agile methodology, what we are going to do? What is this agile? Agile is an iterative approach to develop and deliver the projects. Development and testing will happen parallelly in the agile methodology. You see here, you see here, first I'm going to take few requirements, I'm going to plan them, I'm going to develop them, I'm going to test them, I'm going to deliver. Then again, second release, then third release, fourth release, fifth release, like that. The project will be delivered to the client in the multiple releases. Every release is called as one sprint in the agile methodology. Every release is called as one sprint in the agile methodology. Are you guys able to follow this? Agile is an iterative approach. In this agile methodology, development and testing will happen parallelly. Client involvement will be very high when you go for agile, because is client waiting for the whole project to see? Is client waiting for the whole project to see? Or in every sprint client can see the project? In every sprint client can see the project. First sprint delivered. First sprint nothing but some requirements. Second sprint nothing but some requirement. Third sprint is nothing but some requirements. Client is going to see the project in multiple sprints. For every sprint, we are going to deliver and we are going to take the feedback from the client. Client involvement will be very high. Now you see here, client has given 100 requirements. 100 requirements. 100 requirements. We are developing all the 100 requirements and we are delivering. It is taking 2 years. assume that it is taking 2 years. When the client will see the total project in the waterfall? After 2 years, the client will see the project. After 2 years, whatever we have implemented, you delivered after 2 years, client is not happy. Whatever client is expecting, you are not able to implement that. Client is not happy. So 2 years the time, whatever you spent, the 2 years the time waste, 2 years money waste. But same thing, here, I am not going to deliver 100 requirements at a time. Out of the 100, I have taken first 30. 30 requirements I am going to deliver within 2 months. Within 2 months. When client will see our work? Within 2 months only, client will see my work, because 100 requirements I'm not going to attack at a time. 100 requirements I have divided into 3 parts, right? Here I'm taking 30, here I'm taking 35, here I'm taking 35, here I'm taking 35. So this is 2 months, this is 2 months, and this is 2 months. Like this, I'm going to develop this project. So for every 2 months, I'm giving a delivery to the client. Client will see our work. Client will give the feedback. If anything is required, client can change the requirement. If a client changes the requirement, then budget also will change. So now people are going to follow this agile methodology to develop the projects. Which methodology people are following to develop the projects, guys? People are following agile methodology to develop the projects. All right. Could you please see here? What is the DevOps? DevOps is a culture, or we can say DevOps is a process. We can say DevOps is a set of practices. What is the purpose of this DevOps culture? DevOps culture is used to collaborate development and operations in the software project. Using DevOps culture, we can simplify software project delivery process. Before going to understand the DevOps culture, first we need to understand how the software project development will happen. The software project development process is called as software development lifecycle, which is also called as SDLC, software development lifecycle. If you want to become a DevOps engineer, or if you want to understand the DevOps culture, first you need to understand how the project's development will happen. Okay, the process of developing the projects and delivering the project is called as SDLC. In SDLC, we have several phases. In SDLC, we have several phases. What are the phases available? What are the phases available? We can say deployment, delivery can become as one phase, or we can keep as 2 phases also, no problem. Requirements gathering. We need to understand the client requirement first. After understanding the requirement, we need to analyze whether we can do those requirements or not. Is the requirements technically possible? Technically, can we implement? Technically feasible or not? We need to check it. Gather the requirements, analyze the requirements, design them, plan them, then develop them, test them, deploy, delivery, maintenance. All these phases will be involved in the software project development. These phases is called as development life cycle. These phases are called as development life cycle. Now, in software development life cycle, there are several methodologies are available. In that, waterfall is the first methodology which introduced into the market. Waterfall is the first methodology which got introduced in the market. This waterfall methodology is a linear methodology which is used to develop and deliver our projects. Waterfall is a linear methodology which is used to develop and deliver our projects. Why it is called as linear? Everything will happen step by step. After one step is completed, then only we will go for next step. After one step is completed, if one step is completed, then only we will move for, then only we will go to next step. If one step completed, then only we will go to next step in the waterfall. Here we will move only in forward direction, no backward direction. You can't go backward. That means when you are in the testing, you cannot do the development. When you are in the testing phase, client cannot change the requirement. We will move only in forward direction. There is no backward direction. In this waterfall methodology, requirements are fixed. Once client has given the requirements, client cannot change the requirements, because based on the requirements we will do the design, we will do the development. When we are doing the development, if a client to change the requirement, again we have to do the designing from first. That's why requirements changes are not accepted by the companies if they are following waterfall methodology. Budget is also fixed. Client involvement is very less. Client will see the project at the end. If a client don't like our project, then it is waste of time, waste of money. So that's why waterfall methodology is not suitable for complex applications. Waterfall methodology, waterfall methodology is not suitable for big projects. Waterfall methodology not suitable for big projects and not suitable in today's competitive world. To overcome the problems of the waterfall methodology, companies are going to follow agile methodology. Companies are going to follow agile methodology. What is this agile methodology? Agile is an iterative approach to develop and deliver the projects. That means development and delivery will happen parallelly. I'm going to divide the requirements into multiple releases. Client has given 100 requirements. I'm not going to deliver 100 requirements at a time. I will divide the 100 requirements into multiple releases. Every release is called as one sprint in the agile methodology. Every release is called as one sprint in the agile methodology. Agile is an iterative approach. Now, client has given requirements. First, I will take the priority requirements. I will develop them. I will test them. I will deliver. I will take the client feedback. After that, I will take few more requirements. I will develop them. I will test them. I will deliver. Then I will take the client feedback. After that, I'm going to develop the remaining requirements. I will test them. I will deliver to the client. I will take the client feedback. So the project is delivering to the client in the multiple releases in the agile. For every release, client involvement will be available. When we are doing the first release, client can change the remaining requirements. When the requirements are changed, then the budget is also going to change in the agile methodology. So in the today's market, agile methodology is suitable methodology to develop and deliver the projects as per business standards, as per business requirements. Agile methodology is recommended approach to develop and deliver. Now see here, development is happening, delivery is happening. So there should be some collaboration between the development team and delivery team, or the collaboration is the collaboration is not required. Development here, you see here guys, development is happening, delivery happening at the end. But here, development and delivery happening at the end. Development and delivery is very frequent in the agile methodology. Development and delivery is very frequent in the agile methodology, or development and delivery is not frequent in the agile methodology. Come on guys. When you go for waterfall, delivery will happen at the end. Delivery will happen at the end. But when it comes to agile, how many times a project will be delivered? Every month delivery will be available very frequently. When the development and delivery is happening very frequently, there should be some collaboration between the development team and operations team. When the development and delivery happening very frequently in the agile methodology, there should be some collaboration between development team and operations team. That's where this DevOps culture came into market. Because of this agile, DevOps became more famous in the market. As the companies are following the agile methodology, the demand for the DevOps is very huge, because every release, every month, we are going to develop and deliver the project to the client. Every month we are going to deliver few requirements to the client. Development team is doing the development. Operations team has to deliver the requirements to the client every month. As the development and delivery is a continuous process in the agile methodology, definitely there should be some collaboration between the development team and operations team in the project. To establish that collaboration, to improve that collaboration, Devops came into market. Now do you understand the importance of the Devops in the project development? Now do you understand the importance of the Devops in the project development? If the Devops is not available, then what is the problem, guys? If the Devops is not available, then what is the problem? Deployments, delivery will become slow. Delivery will become slow. We will become outdated in the market. Delivery will be slow. Our competitors will do more business than us. If the DevOps is not available, if the DevOps culture is not there, that means development team and operations team will work differently. Collaboration will be missing. Collaboration will be missing. Developers has done the development. Then when you will deliver to the client, before you deliver the project to your client, the competitor will deliver the project to the client first. Competitors business will run faster than us if you are slow. If you are slow in the delivery process, competitors will win the race in the market. Our competitors will win the race in the market. Got it? So always you need to be faster than your competitor. Always you need to do the things prior to your competitors. So if you want to deliver the projects quickly, then definitely you need to establish the collaboration between the development team and operations team. Then you can do the development and delivery quickly to the market, quickly to the clients. Then client's business will run successfully. If the client business is running successfully, then client will give more requirements to you. Then you will get more money as a company. Got it? So you understand the difference between what is the waterfall model and agile model, and which one is recommended? Which one is recommended? Can you tell me which model is recommended to develop the projects? Agile model or agile methodology is recommended. Agile is a linear model or agile is a iterative model? Agile is a linear model or agile is a iterative model? Agile is the iterative model. Why agile is called as iterative model? Why agile is called as iterative model? Project development and delivery is happening very frequently. Project development, testing, delivery is happening very frequently. We are not going to deliver the whole project at a time. If I deliver the whole project at a time, if a client don't like our project, whatever the time we spent, whatever the money we spent, that will become waste. So that's why in every stage, we will involve the client in the project so that the client can see how his project is getting developed, how his project is getting delivered. More interaction will be there with the client. More involvement will be there for the client. Client involvement will be very high when you go for agile. When you go for waterfall, client involvement is very less. Client will see the project at the end in the waterfall model, but in the agile model, client will see the project for every sprint. One sprint is nothing but one release. One sprint is nothing but one release. Now, project development, testing, delivery will happen very frequently. Project development, testing, and the delivery is very frequent in agile. Project development, testing, delivery very frequent in agile. Okay, using devops, using devops culture, we can we can adapt we can adapt agile methodology very easily. We can adapt agile methodology very easily using DevOps culture. DevOps culture is promoting the agile methodology. DevOps is promoting agile methodology. DevOps is promoting this agile methodology because by using DevOps we can achieve continuous integration and continuous delivery. Using DevOps we can achieve continuous integration, which is called and continuous delivery. Some people will call it as a development, which is called CD. Nothing but CI/CD. Continuous integration and continuous delivery we can achieve by using this agile methodology with the DevOps culture. Continuously the development will happen, continuous delivery some people will call as continuous integration, continuous deployment, or continuous delivery. Deployment or delivery, continuous deployment or continuous delivery people will call it as. So how we are going to achieve this CI/CD? We will achieve the CI/CD by using agile methodology with the DevOps culture. By using agile methodology with the DevOps culture, we are going to achieve this continuous integration and continuous deployment or delivery. Continuous deployment or delivery. Some people will call it as deployment. Some people will call it as delivery. Are you clear with my point? Are you clear with my point? What are the advantages of this DevOps? What are the advantages of this DevOps, guys? Can you tell me? If I go for this DevOps process, what are the advantages? Can you tell me? DevOps advantages. Speed will be there. Speed. Second one, rapid development. Speed will be there. Rapid development will be there. Fast releases. Releases will be faster. Releases will be faster. Come on. Reliability will be available. Then security will be available. These all are the advantages of the DevOps. And client satisfaction, that is the most important. Client satisfaction is the most important factor in the DevOps culture. Okay, next one. What are the challenging thing if you want to work with DevOps? Collaboration will be available. Collaboration will be available. Teams collaboration will be available. Teams collaboration will be available when you go for this DevOps. Now, next one. What is the challenging thing to go with the DevOps? What is the challenging thing to go with the DevOps? Is there any challenges if I want to go with the DevOps? If I want to implement the DevOps culture in my project, what is the challenging thing? DevOps is not one person job. DevOps is not one person job. It is everyone's job in the team. Everyone's job in the project. One person cannot achieve the DevOps process in the project. Developers, operations, testers, everybody should work collaboratively. Then only we can achieve this DevOps culture, so that we can simplify and we can speed up application delivery process to the client. Fast releases, delivery, speed deliveries, speed releases, quick releases, fast releases, or we can say that we can do quick releases to the client when we go for DevOps culture. Are you clear with my points? what is this waterfall model, what is this agile model, why DevOps is more important in the agile model. Very good, very good. Fine guys, I will share these notes to your email. Okay. Tomorrow we are going to understand the DevOps tools. What are the tools we are going to use in the DevOps and what is the purpose of each tool? Tomorrow we are going to get the clarity on the DevOps tools. With this, I'm stopping for today. We'll continue tomorrow at the same time. You can join tomorrow session also for free of cost guys. So same Zoom link you can use to join the session tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last free session for the people who want to attend this DevOps course. After the tomorrow session, you can do the enrollment if you want to continue. Okay. Thank you. Good night. See you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Bye bye. Take care.